So agents, have you ever thought, I'm doing open houses, I'm staying busy, but it doesn't feel like I'm actually getting ahead? Well, you're probably not crazy because most agents are still running open houses the old way that they did in fast markets. And then they're just wondering why things aren't compounding. So I've got some ideas on how you can change that. I'm Bret Johnson, associate broker with Real and your host at Better Together Academy. And a few years ago, open houses were pretty simple. You put a sign out, you unlock the door, you kind of just wait for traffic to arrive. And in a hot market, someone typically wrote an offer. But this market is different. Buyers are cautious, they're being analytical, and they're definitely slower to decide. Most people walking through your open house aren't really ready to buy that weekend. They're probably just researching, they're comparing, maybe they're even watching how you communicate. So that means that the goal of an open house has now shifted. It's no longer about selling the house that day. It's about building trust, starting conversations, and positioning yourself as the obvious guide when they're ready. So if open houses feel busy, but they're not being productive, that's probably because the strategy hasn't evolved. So here are 3 shifts that will turn your open houses into client creations. The first is that you need to shift the goal from selling the house to serving the visitor. In a slow market, most visitors are not writing an offer that weekend. Some are, early buyers, some may be neighbors, just they're watching prices. Some already have an agent, but they're just unsure. So if your focus is, how do I sell this home? People are going to feel that pressure. Instead, shift the goal to just asking better questions, understanding where they are, and offering insight that they can't get online. When people feel served instead of sold, they tend to relax. And when they relax, those real conversations start to happen. That's where relationships start, and it will give you the opportunity to pivot and offer a value that will open the door to help you take the next steps. Now, your next shift is to use the open house to demonstrate expertise, not salesmanship. Today's buyers already know the basics. What they don't have is context. Use the open house to explain things like why the home is priced the way it is, what buyers are comparing it to, and then what's happening locally with days on market. I also like what's possibly negotiable right now. In a slower market, this clarity can create some confidence. And when you provide that calm, informed perspective, you're going to stand out. And the agents who end up standing out, they get remembered out of those 10 open houses buyers went to that weekend. So your last shift is to create a clear, natural next step. This is where most agents drop the ball. They have a great conversation and then they end it at the door. With no next step, there's no follow-up plan, and unfortunately then no momentum. So strong open house always leads somewhere. Maybe it's a short follow-up conversation about the prospect's timeline. Maybe it's sending that local market data. And maybe it's just a quick strategy conversation. The key is this: it has to feel helpful, not pushy. When value comes first, people are far more open to continuing the relationship. And that's how an open house turns from just a busy activity into an actual asset. So if you're running open houses and they feel busy, but they're not compounding, let's talk through what might be missing. Give me a call, message me, or just click the link below and let's schedule a simple strategy conversation. We can look at how you're structuring your open houses, maybe how the conversations are flowing, and then what your follow-up really looks like afterwards. And if this video helped, click the subscribe button or follow us at Better Together Academy on all social media. I share practical, real-world strategies that every agent who wants to build something that actually lasts can utilize. Thanks for watching.